Some people watch Chargers camp and see the same July reps. I see something else. Coaching decisions exposing who has earned trust, who has become a priority, and who may be losing ground without anybody saying it. A rookie is speeding up the receiver battle. Justin Herbert is already responding to the new offense. Two cornerstones are returning under tightly controlled workloads, and a potential trade is beginning to make sense at the bottom of the roster. Today we are stepping inside that room. If you track every signal coming out of Los Angeles, subscribe now and read this camp with me. The first clue surfaced in the last place most people expected: the base offense. Brenen Thompson, a mid-round pick, has already worked with Justin Herbert. That changes the conversation. At first, the 5'9", 170-pound rookie looked like a candidate for design touches, motions, disguised runs, and occasional bursts of speed. Once he rotates with the first unit, the staff is testing something much more serious. Mike McDaniel did not come to Los Angeles to hand out snaps based on reputation. He added players across the offense, and Thompson was his major draft investment at receiver. The internal logic may be simple. McDaniel already has size and versatility in Quentin Johnston, Trey Harris, and Keandre Lambert-Smith. With Ladd McConkey atop the hierarchy, he needed a piece capable of changing a play's speed before the ball arrived. That is where the inside read gets interesting. Thompson does not need an official starting title to steal meaningful work. He only has to prove defenses respect his acceleration, Herbert trusts his timing, and his smaller frame does not prevent consistent execution. McDaniel has built offenses around space, leverage, and fear. If one defender retreats half a second because of the vertical threat, McConkey finds a window or the running game gets a lighter box. Quentin Johnston is directly involved, but treating that as a verdict against him would be premature. A rotation forcing every receiver to bring a defined purpose is more compelling. Johnston offers size and downfield ability. Thompson brings a violent change of pace. If the rookie keeps appearing in primary packages, some once guaranteed snaps will disappear. My bold prediction is not that Thompson dominates every down. He could leave August with a role big enough to make him one of this offense's real starters, even if the depth chart says otherwise. Public lineups move slowly. Private trust appears first in personnel groupings, Herbert reps, and installed plays. Thompson has entered that conversation, and that is far more dangerous to the veterans than any press conference compliment. Then day 2 arrived, and the theory sounded like footballs cutting through the defense. Justin Herbert found Keaton Mitchell down the left sideline, then connected deep with Quentin Johnston, Ladd McConkey, and Trey Harris in 11-on-11 work. He also hit Brenen Thompson on a crossing route. It is not September. No sensible person hands out awards after 2 practices. Still, one technical detail is hard to ignore. Herbert looks comfortable in an offense that changed how he operates. During OTAs, much of his work happened without throwing. Mike McDaniel emphasized footwork, Herbert's new shotgun stance, and earlier timing. From outside, that could look like wasted time with the roster's best arm sitting idle. Now the intent is visible. McDaniel was reorganizing the seconds before the throw, so Herbert could find answers before pressure closed the pocket. That lands on the sore spot from recent years. Greg Roman's passing game did not attack the middle with this group's possible variety. Too many calls pushed the ball toward the flat, partly because of shaky protection, and partly because the concepts rarely conflicted defenders. McDaniel wants conflict at every level. If outside zone and quick passes pull linebackers and safeties forward, Herbert gets the deep windows he attacked in camp. Look at the targets. Mitchell threatens the edge and releases from the backfield. Johnston and Harris can win contested catches. McConkey turns space into yards after the catch. Thompson injects speed horizontally and forces pursuit. That range gives McDaniel multiple answers from the same picture without asking Herbert to survive until the final second. This transition could change the quarterback conversation. Herbert has always shown he can attack the entire field. Criticism returns when January arrives and team results fail to match his talent. Give him rhythm, schematic protection, and freedom to punish the middle, and the argument against his elite status weakens. That difference matters when the pressure arrives for real. I do not need to launch an MVP campaign after practice 2. I need to recognize preparation becoming visible. The footwork looks cleaner. The ball is finding different receiver types. The offense is not trapped inside one answer. McDaniel is still hiding most of the menu, but the kitchen already smells different. When Herbert operates early, clearly, and aggressively, he is not under pressure to prove his value. Defenses must figure out how to keep every piece from reaching space at once. Every beautiful concept comes with one quiet condition. Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater have to stay on the field. Both entered camp healthy and activated after injuries wrecked the line last season. Slater lost the year after tearing his patellar tendon during an off-season workout. Alt played 6 games, injured his ankle, returned, and hurt it again. The Chargers still won 11 games and reached the playoffs. Imagine Herbert with both tackles, and 2026 feels different immediately. Jim Harbaugh described their return like a plane starting down a runway. First comes controlled movement, then speed builds toward takeoff. Classic Harbaugh, but the analogy reveals the plan. August will not test courage. It will be a progression, beginning with familiar OTA work and adding load without reckless jumps. That caution is not fear, it is memory. The team learned the price of improvising at both edges and discovered depth cannot reproduce elite talent. Alt carries less re-injury history than Slater, who missed nearly all of 2022. Healthy Slater plays among the league's best tackles and made the Pro Bowl in 2021 and 2024. In 6 rookie games, Alt showed why he received Offensive Rookie of the Year votes. No equivalent replacement exists for either one. Los Angeles rebuilt the interior with Tyler Biadasz and Cole Strange, while left guard remains open. McDaniel can soften inside weaknesses with motion, quick throws, and favorable angles. The math is crueler outside. If a tackle repeatedly loses one-on-one, the coordinator must spend a tight end, running back, or route element on help. Every extra protector removes someone from Herbert's progression and shrinks the expected creativity. The key August indicator may not be reps won. It is how they wake up and respond as workloads rise. The staff does not need an early sprint to calm us. It needs both men intact when games count. That protects the entire offensive structure. There is irony here. McDaniel is putting speed and timing around Herbert, yet everything depends on 2 men who rarely touch the ball. Harbaugh's plane does not need a spectacular July takeoff. It needs to arrive in January. If Alt and Slater finish that runway without a setback, the offensive ceiling becomes something the AFC must face. Another conversation is moving quietly at the bottom of the roster, which is why it deserves attention. Kimani Vidal was a fun surprise when Omarion Hampton got hurt last season. He seized his opportunity, helped, and won over the fan base. Camp does not award spots for gratitude. Mike McDaniel inherited Vidal, established Hampton as his lead back, then added Keaton Mitchell in free agency. That sequence could end with Vidal becoming available in a trade. Vidal did not fail because the system changed, and evaluating different fits does not dismiss his production. This is functional. McDaniel asks his backs for edge speed, clean outside zone reads, receiving value, and work absent from rushing stats. Mitchell was a deliberate addition. Hampton carries first-round investment. Everyone else must create value elsewhere. Jared Patterson and Amar Johnson may offer more on special teams. Undrafted free agent Gregory DeRozier is involved too. Watching only carries, Vidal may look better than some names. Building the 53 asks who helps when offensive snaps disappear. A third or fourth back must cover kicks, protect on returns, block, handle uneven work, and remain useful while Hampton controls the touches. That intersection may create trade value for Joe Ortiz. Running backs rarely bring major compensation, especially when teams expect a possible cut. Injuries elsewhere can change needs fast. A club that liked Vidal in the draft or tracked his opportunity may offer a late pick or player swap instead of waiting on waivers. Any asset beats simply losing someone who may not fit this offense's final version when final cuts arrive. The other side matters. Hampton's injury showed how quickly a settled position needs depth. Trading Vidal early weakens that protection. Mitchell brings speed but still must show pass protection and playbook consistency. Price and timing must justify the risk. My move? Let the competition breathe while Ortiz keeps the phone open. If Vidal fits completely, he wins the job and forces a recalculation. If his role stays limited and another team offers value, a trade becomes smart management, not rejection. Good front offices create options behind closed doors and let the market reveal which carries the most value. I want the read from fans tracking more than the starters. In the comments, are you keeping Vidal as insurance behind Hampton or taking a late pick to open space for McDaniel's preferred profile? Neither answer is comfortable. Keeping him protects depth. Trading him turns surplus into a future resource. The decision may reveal something bigger, how much power the new coordinator has to rebuild this offense in his image. This camp is speaking quietly, but it is not hiding the direction. Brenen Thompson is invading meaningful reps. Herbert is cashing in on technical work almost nobody saw. Alt and Slater are progressing under managed workloads, and Kimani Vidal could become trade currency if the offense demands a different profile. Different decisions, same signature. McDaniel and his staff are stripping away old habits and testing who fits the 2026 plan. I will track every personnel grouping, workload, and roster move. Drop your read in the comments, subscribe to Los Angeles Chargers News Today, and stay with us. This fan base does not wait for announcements to notice when the board has started moving.